Hey guys, can you hear me now? Oh, I think you should be able to hear me. I don't know why the stream was blocking the voice over, so it should be good now. Should be good. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, OBS was blocking the sound, but I see it moving now, so it should be good. Perfect, perfect. Welcome, guys. Sorry about that technical issue. Welcome to the stream. If you have any question, let me know. I'll wait a little bit for player to join. I know today is probably going to have a lot of question about the Affinity System, so if there are any, let me know. I also have an account in 57 still, so that I can show you some of the event, the other world shop, because I already did a Styria in that server. This is my mini account at the moment, just doing a few dailies, trying to get the freebies. Gonna send that out and wait for you guys to join the stream. It's been a moment. Last weekend was busy. I also need to do quite a few review when it comes to Players March. I know in the Discord it's coming in. Sorry, guys, I haven't had time to do a review. I'm trying to probably do one tomorrow or the day after. But I want to do some on the live stream as well. I should have time today. I'm glad the video helped. That was the goal. I mean, the Affinity System and the Insane system is really new. If there's still doubt, still concern, or if you want to just ask me which immortal would be best for you given your account, no worries, guys. This is the time to ask. Just let me know. I'm not too sure about the bot, so sorry. Give it some more time, a few more minutes, and then what I'll do is until I have a few questions, I want to go and review a few players' account that they sent on the Discord. Be able to put this here already. I'm gonna start from the bottom up. These ones are older too, so I really need to get to them. So what I'll do is I'll get started on the review right now. If you have any question, just let me know. I'll also do a few things in game. If you do ask me a question, I can also go in game to show you if you want explanation on something. All right, so let me start with this player here. I haven't done it yet. So this is a very early account. This is going to be very similar to some of the recommendation I've given in the past. Because Sparks of Galaxy is gone, a March like this with 1, 2, 3, 4 only in Shadow becomes very expensive and hard to sustain because you're gonna have to work on the artifact, the immortal, the specialization later on, and immortal like Himiko and Tutan, because they're carries, you need to go really deep into the specialization. Can give you an idea. I've been working on my Himiko for a very long time. Because Sparks of Galaxy is gone, I'm not able to focus her anymore. So I'm missing a lot of power from here, here, here. And all of these, if you want a really strong carry, is something that you need to bring up at some point. And when you look at a March like this, you're gonna have to do it on Himiko, And you're gonna have to do it also on your, let me just put that bigger for you guys. And on your Tutan as well. So that's a lot of investment on Holy and Shadow. In my opinion, I would keep 2 of them, and I would probably change to something a little bit cheaper and move the 2 that you already worked on towards your second team. It's not a waste of investment. You're going to use them in the second team. Tutan can be extremely good against Elemental boss and Gnome boss, so not a waste. But it's going to be way cheaper and easier for you if you focus a little bit more. And you're still early, so it's not going to be too much to switch. Again, you're very early at 240, 250k power. And if you still want to invest as much, then you go with the Chaos Immortal, you go with Red Skill, which is going to benefit your account down the line way more than continuing on a Holy and Shadow full March. When it comes to the skill, however, these are good. And these are good. Here, the only thing about Shelter is you be careful. Shelter is going to be cancelled quite easily. Quinn and Khan are extremely popular at the moment. Here, this is fine. The only thing is Cleave is not the best skill on a Tutan. Tutan does not excel from normal attack. So other skill would be better. A skill that will either give more strength to his ultimate or cast his ultimate quicker. So I would probably remove these 2, keep Fighting Will. Anger, Adrenaline Rush are all really, really good skill on Tutan. Way better than these 2. For Yermiko is well set up. Again, the artifact needs work, but I would focus on 2 only. If you have any question here, you can let me know. What I'll do at the end of the stream is every player that I've done the review during the stream, I'll link the video link on the thread so that you can review. I have a question here. 1 second. So I have a good question here. A player is asking, because of the new skill, which I reviewed today as well and released the video, the Grace, which is an aura. Now what happens with this one is the older player in Legendary Season now have access to this. I personally don't in this on this account, because this one is actually not yet in my server. But we are playing against player that has this Grace. Right here, it's not there. It's going to be there next KVK. We already see it at the end of next KVK. We're going to be able to buy it. The question is now for Mage better to have a crit or a normal attack, the damage percentage from magical damage? I still think, at least at the moment, that crit is still a little bit better. Even if you are going to deal the same amount of damage or almost with your crit versus non-crit against Grace, I still think at the moment crit offers you really good damage output against anybody else or any other team that does not have Grace. If you want to push it, you can say that the normal one, the magical percentage, is now a little bit stronger against player with Grace. But you have to remember, not all players has Grace yet. And if they do, you're still going to deal a good amount of damage. And as you saw in the video, the Grace skill is not super constant. There might be some buying the hidden criteria for it to actually proc. There still need to be more testing. I would not reset my artifact yet. Give it at least 1 KVK where we are going to be able to see how Grace is going to perform against other player, and then we can make a better adjustment and change to a magical percentage artifact. The reality is, when you look at the throne, Jay beat GM 5-0 in the semi-final, but the truth is Jay had a big advantage. I cannot show you the report anymore, but Jay had Grace and GM did not have access to Grace yet. He was in our server before moving to 38. So he couldn't buy Grace. That was a big difference in their March, and one of the main reasons why Jay definitely won 5-0. Grace was on his main team, and Medusa is countered by Grace quite a bit if it works properly. And it did work properly against GM, so it was pretty one-sided when you look at it. I hope that answered your question. If you have any follow-up on the question, let me know. Let me continue with this one here. Let me do, I think Aaron, I prepared a video on this one. So let me do this one. So this is a basic but very good Fire Quinn March. And he also has a second team that is a work in progress. Now, let me see if I have the information when it comes to, okay, there you go. Here, still quite early. Low spender, legendary pass, used to do a golden path, 53, so that means the maximum is now 55. This is really well done, by the way. Focused on Wu. Wu is the carry, so this is really good. It's what I always suggest, so this is extremely well placed when it comes to the focus. Now here, second March is a work in progress, working on the Khan, since he's the only carry in that March. Again, very well. Now just make sure you don't focus too much on the second yet, because your main team still need quite a bit. Here, the Dragon spec for the main team, you still need to work on the level 10-10, right? As soon as it's 10-10, when it comes to the spec on your Dragon, don't max all the small one. Make sure you bring this dust level a little bit higher on Dragon, at least 30. 30 is not all that expensive, but it's a good threshold for the Dragon. All right, so let's review, and this is also an important question for sure. So here, this is the current March. This is very strong for the Wu. It is a crit artifact as well. Definitely 100% needed for a fire team, especially a Wu fire team. This is okay. Now, the only thing, again, be careful. When you use assist, you need to make sure your Queen is going to survive. And because the artifact is quite low and the dust and specialization of Queen is a little bit lower, careful. If your Queen always die first, then you don't have anti-healing anymore. And you also don't have assist protecting your Wu. So you might need absolute defense until your Queen becomes a little bit stronger. Just keep an eye on it. Now here for Hippo, I would definitely change his skill here. Berserk is not really a skill that is going to work very well with your setup. Normal attack in this March, the only thing it does is boost your energy regen a little bit, but really not that much. I would probably change this to another skill. Adrenaline Rush, Fighting Wheel. Fighting Wheel here would do very well on your Hippo. Fighting Wheel, what is good about Fighting Wheel is its CC. It can root a lot of enemy and does some damage. So it's a really good skill for Immortal on the attack that do not want to focus on damage skill. So Fighting Wheel here. This one, it's okay, but there's a limit, which is why I don't really like it and don't really use it all that often. But for now, it's okay. You can keep it. Another thing that you could do is Physical Shield. The Physical Shield, what is good about it is your Hippo is all about debuff, reducing the energy of the enemy. And also with Fighting Wheel, will do some damage. And with Energy Suppression, even more of a utility. And Physical Shield is going to help her survive the Alexes. For Trajan, this is perfect. This is good. Now, I definitely need to work on the artifact, but this one is a little bit harder to do. When it comes to your question here, first one, I think for now, your skills are fine, except the one that I mentioned, Berserk. I'm going to talk about the few skills that I think you should get soon because you're going to get 55 soon. And I'm also going to answer your second question. For sure, what I would do is put Bjorn here. Bjorn is going to be extremely good for your fire team. A cheaper option could be Ragnar, but I do think Bjorn is an extremely good option to put into that fire team here. If you do Bjorn for your second team, I wouldn't worry too much about it. What I would do, because you already work on Hippo a little bit, I would just move Hippo to my second team and replace Bjorn when he is ready at the moment. Later on, you can do another switch. You will want to bring Alex to this march here. It would be a Khan, Xeno, Alex, YSS, which is very basic, very good. Would give you a very, very strong second team. And you're still going to be able to put Hippo in your third team here somewhere. It doesn't matter. At this point, focus on your first, a little bit on the second. Don't go too far. It's still quite early. When it comes to skill to get for your team, you already have 1 token skill, 2 token skill. I would definitely go for no escape. You're almost level 55. I think the requirement for no escape is 54. Whenever you have enough Cinder, you need to go for no escape. No escape is good on everybody, especially on fire team, because fire team is all about burst. And if you're able to disrupt the enemy at the start, your fire team is going to go first and you're going to deal a lot of damage before the enemy can do anything. No escape is extremely important on fire team. So no escape first. Other than that, if you have a little bit more Cinder, energy shield could be an option. You could put it on your Hippo as well, making your Hippo a little bit more useful. And it would also fit on your Bjorn later on. If you want to get the red skill, for sure, the only red skill that you need at the moment would be infinite firepower. It would match very well with what you have here. You can do a Buddha Spirit and infinite firepower, or you can do infinite firepower with any of these 2 skills as well. It's good. Energy Mastery, again, for everybody that keeps asking, is good on Wu. I just think Infinite Firepower is a little bit better on an Immortal like Wu that likes to crit a lot. So if it was me, I would probably get Infinite Firepower. And if I can afford 1 more red skill, I might actually do Fountain of Life. Fountain of Life will protect you against the silence from no escape and allow your fire team to do a lot more work at the start, which will be very strong. Let me put a here. I just need to remember, I need to link the video at the end. If you guys have any question, let me know, by the way. Can be on the Discord as well. I just need to know that you tag me, otherwise I might not notice. If you are online right now in the stream and you post a team to review, also let me know, because I will do it right away since you're already on the stream. I'm assuming you're probably on the stream, so I'm going to review this one right away. Yes, go ahead, ask the question if you have one. Don't need the permission, just ask. In the meantime, I'm going to review this one here. Okay, this is a very good team. This is a very strong, no red skill team. The only thing that you need to be careful when you do a team like this is, although Alex is extremely strong with the setup, Khan is also extremely strong with the setup. Sometimes what happens, and this is after testing, because I have a very similar march as well on another account. Let me show you. Here it is. So here it's extremely similar to what you have, right? The thing is, I did a Khan support, even though I have the skill that you have as well. Corrosive Power is here. I have Blade Vortex somewhere. And when I test, most of the time I do better when my Khan is actually more of a support. The reason is Khan suffer from energy regen, and only with corrosive power, it's actually not enough to fix his issue. Khan also very much so has to deal crit damage to do a lot of damage. And in a setup like that, you don't have any crit. So that makes Khan a little bit underwhelming, I would say, even if you have real good skill on him. What I like to do is remove Fighting Master, because if Khan is not going to do enough damage, I'm going to do a little bit more support. I often do this one, or I can do one skill out of the 3, put Blade Vortex and Executioner. Blade Vortex and Executioner is going to give me a kind of a passive damage over the time during the battle, and I still have at least 1 or 2 skills being a support skill. From what I've experienced, what I've tested, this is what Khan is better set up when it's a march like this without red skill. You can test it out. I've seen a few Khan like this do a lot of work as well. But most of the time, Alex is always the one doing the most damage. If you're online, by the way, you can ask questions for this march as well. I'm going to review the second one here. This is a very good fire team, so you have really 2 strong team. So this is what I would do. Definitely for Arena and TOS, I would move my Fighting Master to my Wu. I would move it here in place of this skill here. When you're fighting in KVK, you can always bring back your Fighting Master to your main team. Your main team is definitely going to need Fighting Master. It can be on your YSS, it can be on your Khan, when you're fighting other player with only 1 march. But when you're not fighting, your second team is going to be so much stronger with Fighting Master on it. So sit on Fighting Master when you're not fighting. Other than that, I would remove Growl. The best thing about the fire is how quickly they generate energy and how quickly they do damage. But if you put Growl on your Hippo, you're slowing down your Hippo. I think Growl is a bit anti-synergic. It removes some of the synergy that you want with your fire team. It's not the worst skill. If you don't have anything else, you can always keep it. But I would probably move it away. There are a few skills that you can do. I can show you here. This one on yielding would be very good for your Hippo. You can also do Blood Frenzy, or you can do Time to Shine on your Hippo as well if you want a little bit more damage. All right, let me mark this one here. If you have any question, just ping me, or you can use the YouTube as well. I want to hear your opinion about my first and second march. My first is a Khan Matilda. Can you post your march in the Discord? MJ92. It would be a lot easier if you can post it on the Discord. Let me know if you can. If you can't, I'll try to review from here. But I'm quite visual, and also it's going to allow me to kind of mix and match. I'm going to give it a second here. Oh, I think take this one here. Right. While I wait for you to let me know if you can post on Discord, I'm gonna review this one here. So this is still early. Let me see. Okay, perfect. So Castle 40 Season 1 actually in Frost right now. golden path during the seasonal event. Alex, okay. All right, so let me review right now first, and then I'm gonna answer your question. There's a few good questions here. All right, so here on your normal Alex March, there's one thing that you need to be careful. If you want to do Adrenaline Rush, it's okay, but I probably wouldn't put it on Zenobia. The reason is Zenobia healing is going to be canceled quite often and quite easily. And if the healing is canceled, you're not getting a lot or almost anything from the Adrenaline Rush. I would probably change it to something more supportive. You can think about Malice. You can think about, it can be, you already have a lot of grace here. Probably Malice if you are fighting Fire Team. If you're fighting a Earth Team, you could probably move Resist here and put Lifelink onto your Charles instead. Because Adrenaline Rush at the moment is not really giving you much on your Zenobia. Just move it to your Hippo or something like this. Other than that, this is good. This is fine early on. You're still very early. You're gonna need a Zenobia artifact and then focus on your Alex artifact right after that. And you also ask question when it comes to replacing Khan for your current Quinn. I don't necessarily recommend it right away. One of the reasons is because you're already working on Charles. You're going to work on Khan. These two immortal are quite hard to do rapidly. And since you're very early, I don't think your Khan is going to be as strong as your Quinn if you only buy from the market. You would need to do this event right here quite a bit, the soul bound, whenever Charles and Khan are available, for you to max them to a point where they're going to be very good. So what I would probably do in your instance is I would keep working on Charles, but I would probably move Charles to my second team and work on my YSS. I think you're already doing it, right? So from the golden path, your YSS is probably going to be maxed before your Charles, even if your Charles is already full store. Reality is elemental bound is the only way to max a Charles in a Khan very quickly. And it's going to be the same thing here. You can work on your Khan slowly, leave it in your second or third march. Just keep Quinn. Quinn is extremely good. Khan does not offer a whole lot more than Quinn, honestly. It is a small upgrade, but I don't think it's worth putting the small amount of money that you're putting in the game towards a Khan. Here, you see that you're sometimes spending on seasonal event as a very low spender. This is good, but what you want to do is actually keep everything for now. Anybody that is a very low spender and is still early in the game, my best recommendation for you is whenever you spend for the long run. Easy a reason why. When you look at my shop right now, this is only 250, and this one here, as you can see, is only at 160. This is the Olean Shadow, and this is one of the 4 Chaos. If you spend right now early on and you keep everything, as soon as these are discounted, you can do 2 seasonal event of buying this 11 times, and you're gonna get a crazy boost in power at that moment. You're gonna be a little bit weaker first, but as a very, very low spender, it's honestly the best thing you can do for your account. And the other best thing you can do for your account is red skill. Because spending on a Khan and a Charles, what will happen is you're gonna get a small boost right now, but other players are gonna catch up at some point. Because Charles is available in the market, Khan is available in the market, it's gonna take them more time, but they will catch up. Even free-to-play will catch up. But if you're spending money onto red skill, a free-to-play is not going to catch up to you. Why? Getting a red skill as a free-to-play is going to take them months, maybe years. Getting a Chaos Immortal or a Holy Shadow from the seasonal event is doable for a free-to-play, but it's going to take them luck and a lot of time. You want to spend on things that is going to give you an advantage that free-to-play are not going to be able to do almost at all. Charles and Count are not it. So here, YSS, Xeno, Quinn, Alex, keep it like this. Work on your YSS slowly when it's ready. Bring it to your main march. Work on your can, leave it on your second or your third team. If at any point you become strong enough, then you can move it to your first team. When it comes to the skills, as soon as you can, assembly charge for your Alex, and then I would do guard to protect my Alex. And then it's going to be the same old skill that I always recommend: no escape, weakening curse, fountain of life, spring of life, sorry, for the token skill. And also you can do energy shield. If you have any question here, you can ask again by tagging me or on the YouTube. Let me review the person that does not have the Discord. 1 second. So let me read the formation again. I'm going to put it here so people can see on the screen as well. So the player first march is Khan, Matilda, Bjorn, and YSS. Second one is Athena, Alex, Cao, and Quinn. He also has Energy Mastery and Corrosive Power on Khan. Alright, so obviously at the moment you must focus on Khan as your main damage dealer because you have Energy Mastery and Corrosive Power. You cannot change anything like making your Alex your main carry because he wouldn't have any red skill. It would be a mistake. Now, this is already extremely strong. If you can bring Athena here, the only issue is you don't have any healing. So bringing Athena here is only really going to help you if you get another red skill like Fountain of Life and you also add Spring of Life, then it would make your team a lot stronger because Athena would get some value. But even if you keep maxing your Athena right now and you don't get Fountain of Life, you don't get Spring of Life, your Athena is actually going to get very little value. It's actually better to leave it here, but you don't want to work on a chaos that you going to leave on your second team if your main team doesn't have any. So that's what I would do. I would keep this like this, but I would bring Athena to replace YSS, and I would work on Fountain of Life, at least level 3 or 4, and get Spring of Life. Let me show you. I have Athena, and let me show you here. Now, I'm getting a lot of value because I have Fu Fei. But if I replace Fu Fei by Quinn, I no longer have any healer in my march. But it does not matter, even if I don't have any healer. Because at the end of the day, I still have Fountain of Life, and I have Spring of Life. Because Athena makes sure that my healing goes through, I'm getting healing from this, and I'm getting not only increased healing, but also the defense from Spring of Life. This is already enough healing to justify Athena in the current meta. So that would be my recommendation. I don't know if you had any more question for this march here. For the Discord, let me send the invite in the chat. Give me 1 second. There you go. This is the invite to the Discord. 1 second here. Do you have a best way? The best way to get a red skill for cheap to play. The best way to get a red skill, honestly, guys, is going to be, let me show you. Let me show you here. Right here. What you want to do is actually on GT Arcade, you're going to go into the paid bundle, the paid gift pack. And you're going to select this one here. Here, you are going to buy 8 coins for only $5. If you do in game, you're going to buy 4 coins for $5. And you're going to get a little bit of gem, a little bit of VIP points. The reality is it's absolutely not worth the difference in number of coins. 8 coins for $5, it doesn't matter what amount of gem you get or VIP you get from the in-game. GT Arcade is going to allow you to get your red skill a lot cheaper. This is the cheapest way. Basically, you buy all 6 this week, you buy all 6 next week. You do this every week slowly, and you're going to get to 1 red skill the cheapest way. There's no other cheapest way than that. This is the cheapest. If you want to do the free-to-play way, you're going to need to basically wait for this bundle here, the free one, to be available 3 times a week. You stack up your coins to 40, and then you're going to do the 5 or even the 1. I don't really like the 1. I feel like when I do the 1, I always go down to 39, although most of the time I still end up going down to 39. But you do the 5 until you get the grand prize. Then you stop, you wait for this to go back up to 40, and you do it again. As a free-to-play player, honestly, it's going to take you months, if not year. But it's honestly the only way. There's no gem bundle for divine coins. There's no workaround. Yes, so this is something that almost all bundles is going to be giving you more items on the GT Arcade. They do that for a few reasons. It's a lot more advantageous for them as game developer if you spend on this here, which is why they're giving you a little bit more. And on top of that, you also get these here that you can spend in points here. So every day I do the free one, I do the gem one here. If you have a lot, you can even get yourself a cool avatar. So honestly, if you're spending at all, you might as well just do it in GT Arcade. You can even buy the tickets here, right? Or you can even go to their website and buy $1, $2 tickets as much as you want, and you're gonna get a little bit of points. Tickets are gonna be sent in game, and then you use the ticket in games. It's a little bit better to do it this way. Some of the bundles as well, if you look at especially the coins, the value is just not even close. If you're gonna spend on divine coin, you have to do it in GT Arcade. Yeah, so basically what I would suggest if you're going the cheapest way to get a red skill, just stack your divine, your elixir. Don't use them because you never know what might be released, right? If you're, example, planning to go for energy mastery, does not matter. Wait until you can at least unlock the skill. Maybe even put it level 2, 3 before you actually go for it. The reason is simple. At the moment, you cannot revert back. I don't have any red skill at the moment, but if you sell a red skill in game, you're gonna get Cinder. You're not gonna get Wisdom Elixir. So if you end up buying, I don't know, 55 Energy Mastery token, and then a new skill gets released and you want that one instead, you can't go for it. You have to go for Energy Mastery first. But as long as it's Elixir, you're fine. They used to have 10 times the $5 divine coins bundle. They changed it probably 2 or 3 months, maybe a little bit more ago, and they reduced it to only 6. It's actually quite a difference, and a lot of player, a lot of spender have asked the dev to change it back to 10, but it has not happened, at least yet. Posted it on Discord. Yes, I can review for sure. Give me 1 second here. This one, I think. All right. Is it this one here? This one was posted very like 9 minutes ago. So I'm gonna do this one. If it was not this one, just let me know. All right, so very, very early. As soon as you're still in the 500s, you just barely started a few months ago. Not in Frost yet, so this is good. You need to prepare yourself for Frost. It's a Alex, Emiko, Quinn, YSS. Very good team. I like this setup. Here, this is good as well. All right, let's take a look at the skill. This is the second team. Let's look at the first one. All right. Now this is, at the moment, very good and decent. Now, the only thing that you are going to need to be careful about when you start Frost is when you have dual damage like this, you need to make sure that when you look at the report, both of them are doing about the same number of damage. If, example, Himiko is always the one doing the most damage because you were able to work on the specialization of your Alex a lot quicker, then what you want to do is actually put a little bit more supportive skill on the one that is not doing as much damage. The reality is, at the moment in the game, a lot of the marches uses one carry because there's a lot of supportive skills available that is going to help you. Now, because you're only in season 1, this is the reason why this type of march can actually do about the same number of damage. First, a lot of player dust is not maxed out. 2, the levels are lower. 3, and most importantly, at the Tower of Knowledge, only level 40, you don't have access to the best supportive skill. So this setup is extremely good for now, but be careful in the future because I'm pretty much sure that your Alex is going to do a lot of the work later on if you don't give any red skill to your Himiko. For right now though, this is a really good setup. The only thing that you need to be careful really is the Oaken Guard. If you're fighting a fire team with only Wu as a carry, you're going to want to remove Oaken and put resist. But this is a very, very solid team for Season 1 Frostborn. You also have Resist and even Jade. So this is very good. You just need to switch depending on who you're fighting. This is still very early. If you have any question when it comes to Red Scale or Chaos or Holy and Shadow down the line, just let me know. But since you're still only level 39 and about to enter Frost, I think it's too early to start talking about a Chaos and stuff like that. 1 second. So no, I posted it 4 days ago. Okay, give me 1 second. Oh, there you go. So medium spender, season 2 just started. Frost. Himiko Alex maxed out in Dust. This is really well done. Whenever you can, bring Quinn to 30 and you're in a really good spot when it comes to Dust. This is well focused. Now Alex 25, you're going to work on your YSS next. Replacing Alex, my grandma's build 2 Chaos Immortal. Okay. Okay, let me review first your current setup, and then we can talk about future investment when it comes to red skill and also your chaos, because you're pretty certain that you're gonna go Fufei. You want to know somebody else. Let's see. All right, so you have one red skill in infinite firepower, still low when it comes to the level, but still very good. I think at level 3, with corrosive power is still probably better, but I honestly think as soon as it's around 5, 6, until you have energy mastery, I would try with a Buddha Spirit. The reason is it's gonna boost your damage of your infinite firepower quite a bit. It might actually be better than corrosive power, given that you went with infinite firepower. You also have a crit artifact, so that would be decent. Guard, resist, berserk. So again, same as I always mention, be careful with Oaken and resist. If you're fighting only one of the two, physical or magical, one of the two skill is useless. So just make sure that you're aware and you're changing that skill if you're fighting against an enemy team that only focus on one damage. Example here, energy suppression is actually a more universal skill. You could replace either resist or Oaken Guard with this skill instead. All right, so let me first, second chaos and... All right, so first of all, don't max infinite firepower. Put it to level 6 or 7, 7 maximum. Don't put it to 8. It's not worth it when you don't have that many red skill. You're gonna lose out if you do. The next best red skill, honestly, will depend heavily on who you do for your Chaos Immortal and who you keep in your March. You're saying that you absolutely want to go for Fufei. I don't see any Fufei. Is your Fufei already started? Flippin', yes. Ninetale could be a first Chaos Immortal. The only thing is you need to be careful for 2 reasons. First, Ninetale is more expensive than Fufei or any of the first 4 Chaos Immortal. And when I say more expensive, it's about double the price. So you need to be careful given that. And 2, you need to be careful what is your setup, right? Because if you're, example, running a Xeno Quinn and you go with Ninetale, it's almost useless. You're not boosting anybody else damage on the backline, so it really depends on what you're doing. But this is actually why I'm asking Yasir if he's already started on Fufei. Because Ninetale could also be a very good option because he's already going infinite firepower. You could do Ninetale instead of Fufei in your case. Again, you have to be careful. Fufei is more expensive. So if you go Fufei, Ninetale is more expensive. So if you go Ninetale, I really think the March is a little bit stronger, but you need to invest a little bit more into your Ninetale. And this is where I would do things differently if you go with Fufei. If you go with Fufei, I would probably do a Anubis. I think Anubis and Fufei would be a very strong chaos, double chaos. You could do Athena. She would be cheaper. And this is what I'm doing right now, right here. With my main, right? I have Bjorn and Athena. Here you would have YSS and Athena, or Bjorn and Athena as well, with a Fufei. If I could revert back, I'm actually not sure I would do Fufei. Fufei is extremely strong. I really like her. But at the end of the day, I still think with the last buff to Ninetale, Ninetale is extremely valuable nowadays. I really like Ninetale's almost a little bit more than Fufei, given the team that you want to do. If it's a Himiko or Loki, I really think Ninetale is extremely good, especially if you have infinite firepower in your March. Here, Athena, I believe she works a little bit better when you have a Fufei. But if you do Ninetale, for sure go Anubis. Ninetale Anubis is extremely strong. Fufei Anubis is also decent. I'm doing Anubis slowly. I haven't tested him yet. The only thing I really like about Bjorn and Anubis, and one of the reasons I want to test it, is they have a lot of damage early. They're going to give you a lot of early buff, and you can melt the enemy. Yeah, when I think about it, honestly, personally, I would do Ninetale Anubis or Fufei Anubis or Athena. This is really your only option. Don't go Ninetale Loki or Fufei Loki. Ninetale Loki would be decent, but you're already working on your Himiko. Your Himiko will kind of become useless if you do Himiko and Loki, because you're going to give your best skill to Himiko and to Loki, and then Himiko is not going to have anything else. It's not the best option for you. It's also one of the reasons I didn't go for Loki. Go back here. If you have any question following up this one, let me know. You also ask for normal skill. Let me see if you have... So you don't have no escape yet. I would definitely do no escape. Whenever the enemy does not have Fountain of Life, you put no escape on your main team. If they do, move it to your second team. It's still going to give you a lot of value. Again, no escape is at the moment, even with Fountain of Life in the game, top 3 in the best token skill, hands down. Other than that, you could always do Weakening Curse as well. Weakening Curse is not the most important for you, because you're going to replace and you're going to bring a Bjorn here. If you don't do Bjorn, you're already working on it. If you don't do Bjorn, then for sure Weakening Curse will help you against Alex a little bit. Okay, so I have a good question here for Flippin. He is at the end of Season 1, and he is currently thinking about his first Chaos Immortal. Fufei is not even in the shop yet. They have Ninetale, Athena, Wukong, and Loki. My biggest recommendation comes back to what I said earlier. If you are either very low or even low spender, stack up. Stack up your seasonal event coins, tokens of light. Don't use them. Or if you want to use some of them, keep the Eternal Grail for now. You want to spend them when your shop looks something like this. You see here, Fufei is half price almost. The difference is quite a lot between the two. Not only because the chaos is discounted, but the artifact is as well, right? So you pretty much pay a full chaos Fufei 80 shards to do the same when it comes to a Fufei and her artifact versus a Ninetale and the artifact. So the investment is quite different. If you want to go Ninetale, absolutely, you can, because she's not going to be discounted. You can go right away. But it is a decision that, in my opinion, depends heavily on the amount of money you're spending. Because this one is also cheap. You can almost buy these 3 for the value of only Ninetale and the artifact. It's quite a lot. Now you have to also be careful though, because if you do 2 Chaos Immortal, you're going to need a lot of Crimson Moonlight. If they're tank and support, level 20, you're going to get away with it. But if they're carries, you're going to need them 30 or 40 even. One second. I'll review your team in a second. I'll just answer your question here. What is the best skill in general? The best red skill in general? There's not really a universal best red skill because it really depends on your team. But if you are an Alex, knife through butter, fully prepare is going to be the best 2 skill. I prefer knife through butter a little bit more for a Alex March, for sure. If you are a caster, so Khan, Loki, Himiko, you're gonna want to go with Energy Mastery. Best skill hands down for you. Infinite Firepower is also an option, but unless you're a Wu, I think Energy Mastery is actually a little bit better than Infinite Firepower because it focuses on the ultimate, and there's a lot of energy regen here. If you are a Medusa, then this one is the best. And overall, I would say the best skill that doesn't really matter about the team that you're using is going to be Fountain of Life. But I would not go Fountain of Life as my first red skill. I think you need to focus on damage first in this game. And if you do Fountain of Life, you're going to survive a little bit longer. You're going to do a lot of healing. You're going to protect somebody really well. But you're still going to end up dying if you're not doing enough damage. So don't go for Fountain of Life first. It could be your second one. Let me go review. Just give me 1 second. The day's about to tip off. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything here. All right. So somebody else posted here. Okay, let me review this one again really quickly because I can. All right, let me see here. There's a few. What do you mean by pain skill? Do you mean a red skill? Just let me know if you mean red skill, by the way. And is this who you are? 237? Right, just tag me. If you put it in submission, just let me know. You can also put it in general since we're on the stream. It's fine. But regarding this one here, okay, no goal skill. The first one until level 40. For your March, I think guard is probably going to be the best one early on. If you look at the Tower of Knowledge, you go to 40 and then you look down. Well, Corrosive Power would be a very good get, but Corrosive Power is not a token skill. It has to be unlocked from the Wisdom Well. I would not go with Spell Disintegrator. It would add a little bit more damage, but I think Guard is probably going to be the best bet. Because it's going to help you and your Alex survive more. Alex is still probably going to be the best carry until you give red skill to your Himiko. Yeah, I would go with Guard. You already have Spell Disintegrator anyway. So go with Guard. me see here. This one here. All right. I think it's this one here. Let me know if it's not the right one, but it looks to be this one. All right, so this is your main team here. All right. So, the part of my next chill, I'm not sure. Okay, so first recommendation, the token skill is going to be guard. Just like I told the previous one, you need guard here. You have a solo carry Alex. You have to remember this one, when you have a Xeno Quinn Alex YSS, which is one of the best free-to-play low spender team in my opinion, at the end of the day, you only have one carry. You have to make sure your Alex survive the whole battle. As soon as your Alex dies, your team is worthless. You need to get guard, for sure. Even if you had no escape wasn't there yet, even if Spring of Life wasn't there yet, you need guard urgently. So this will be your next Triss skill for sure. When it comes to a red skill, with this setup, it's going to be fully prepare or knife through butter. I would do knife through butter first. The reason is when you're going to get one red skill, your Alex is still going to win against other Alexes March that does not have a red skill. And knife through butter is going to help you against Khan, against Himiko, against Loki. So I would do knife through butter as my first red skill. But still, do what I recommended. Since you're really not close yet, don't use your wisdom elixir. Just play the event, use your coins, and keep the elixir. Keep them until you're 100% sure you're going to go with your knife through butter skill. We don't know, they might release another skill. I doubt that they release a skill for Alex. It's already too stacked up at the moment for him. But you never know. Or they could release something that counters Alex and you decide not to necessarily do it anymore. So keep your wisdom elixir. So guard here as well. And knife through butter, first red skill. But keep it until... Other than that, one thing that I want to mention as well, you are very, very deeply into healing with your Zenobia. Vitality's touch is okay, and you already unlocked it, so you can keep it in your main march. It's still going to give you value if it triggers. But Wine and Dine, I wouldn't go with Wine and Dine here. First, you only have one carry. So when you look at Wine and Dine, let me go to a sport. I need to be able to put a skill. All right. When you look at Wine and Dine, these skills excel for hybrid team because you're going to boost the damage from your Alex and your Hannibal at the same time. It can also be okay with Alex Himiko, Alex Khan, but when you have a solo damage Alex, if you increase the damage of your Quinn, your Xeno, your YSS, this is useless. It only works if one of your immortal gets the damage increase, your Alex, and this only works when you heal. Because you're going to fight Quinn and Khan a lot, your healing is not always going to go off, and then you're stuck with a skill that only triggers 50% of the time if it heals, but it's not always going to heal. This skills, in reality, it's not very useful for your march. I will lose it. I would replace it. You already have Berserk. What I would do is I would move Oken here. I would put guard. And I might even remove this one here and put my fighting a master on my YSS, or maybe lifelink on my YSS, physical shield on my YSS, just to make sure it's more durable, because you're gonna be adding guard to him. Quinn with no fighting master is okay, because you want to make sure the Quinn skill canceling the healing goes off. But honestly, I think it's better on your YSS, because your YSS is going to be fighting a lot of Alex, is going to take damage from the guard skill. That's what I would do. Remove this, bring Oaken here, bring guard here, fighting master in place of Malice. And then you can do energy suppression here instead of the skill that you're going to lose in fighting master. If you're fighting a fire team, you could always remove Berserk and put Malice. You're going to lose a little bit of damage in healing, but you're going to counter crit, which is better. All right, guys, any other questions? While you guys ask question, I'm going to do a few daily tasks here. Can't even whatever. This is just for fun and testing, because I cannot rank in this at all. I don't have my main team right, because I don't know why. My Tina is currently gathering, so I cannot. Yeah, it's fine. It's not like I can rank anyway, so I'm just gonna challenge people just to test. I'm gonna look at the report later on. Now here with Alex, I don't think I can win. With Athena, maybe. Everybody else is way too strong. This is stacked. This one was not too hard. So you posted your main team. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go review it. Where did you post it here? All right, I'll assume it's this one. If this is not it, let me know. Yes, I do think down the line, you probably want to replace Xeno with Quinn. Personally, when I have a Himiko Alex, I really prefer Quinn. Quinn, what happens is you're going to get the anti-healing. You're going to fight a lot of Zenobia, a lot of healing skill. So this is going to be very good. And the attack speed is a sure thing. The 25% you get as soon as Quinn casts his skill is going to go on your Alex. You're going to get the buff. Whereas when you look at Zenobia, yes, you are getting healing and you're getting the same attack speed increase. But this is only happening when she heals. And again, a lot of Quinn, a lot of Khan. It might not happen all the time. I prefer Quinn's Himiko a little bit more than Zenobia Himiko. Okay, when it comes to skills here, this one is not good. This skill is not good. You're going to need to replace it. This one is also not very good. Even if you're really early season, your Earth team is not going to dodge. Dodge early game a little bit for the win team. But outside of IBL and Open Arena, this skill is not not really good. Dodge is not good. Let me show you why the second one is not good. Where is it? This one here. Look at the chance. The issue with this one is as you scale it up, the chance remain at 7%. 7%, you need to be extremely lucky for this to do anything at all. I would just lose it. These are the kind of skill that I think the game needs to rework because at the moment they are almost useless. 7%. This is the lowest skill alongside this one. I don't know why they came up with a 7% chance skill. Was there anything else to look at? So this is good. This is good. Now, one thing here as well, I would probably move Berserk away from Alex and give him one more damage skill. Combo, anger, for now is going to be good. But you want to move this to your support or your tank. I already mentioned you should replace these two, so you could always put your Berserk onto your tank instead. You don't need to reborn them, by the way. For now, because you're still early and you're going to be struggling on the purple dust, just move them to your second team for now. They're not going to do a whole lot, but they're going to do a little bit for your other team. But don't keep them in your main team. Hey, okay, can you, in the Discord, post me your current setup that you have with your Khan? And I'll look at which skill would be better for your Khan. All right, here, another player that is probably on the stream posted this, so I'm gonna review it right away. You see here, it's a Queen Himiko, and I like that better than the Zenobia version. Let me see. Okay, here, I don't know which season you are or which castle level you are, but I see that you're immortal or 55. That means you have access to a few skills that you will need as soon as possible. Now, number one, because you're focusing on your Himiko, you don't necessarily need guard right away because guard is going to protect your Alex, but the main damage dealer is definitely your Himiko in this march. But because that's the case, I think you need to change the skill on Alex a little bit. I think you need to go with a little bit more AoE on your Alex, which will help double down on the AoE from your Himiko. I would go with Cleave. I think Cleave needs to replace Anger here. You're going to get a little bit more AoE. You could also replace Combo with Cleave, and you're still going to get really good AoE. This is fine. Here, the skills are also very good. They're fine to keep. The Jade Barrier, though, you need to be careful. Jade Barrier is not all that good against anybody that is not using infinite firepower. So if you see a mage team or Alex team, right, you might need to replace Jade Barrier if they're not running infinite firepower. The reason is, we just talked about the chance earlier, and it's going to be the same thing here. You see, I have it. I'm not even using it at the moment. The chance at 30% is quite low. 30%, the reality is it's not enough to justify Jade Barrier if they don't have a skill that trigger all the time. Himiko, one ultimate, deals a lot of damage. If it crit, it deals even more damage. If Jade Barrier is not activated when that happens, that skill is not giving you anything. Because infinite firepower is activated every 3 seconds, then Jade Barrier is going to activate and protect you against this when it activates a lot more. So here, again, because your Himiko is your main carry, I would probably do a assist on my Quinn. So maybe just remove this one here and put assist. If you're fighting against a right enemy, you can always put Jade Barrier back on. But assist on your Quinn will help your Himiko for sure. You don't have no escape. No escape, definitely a skill that you want to get for sure as well. Even if you're not going to use it on your main team because they have Fountain of Life, it's going to give you great value for your fire team here. So no escape would probably be the best next thing to get, and you should be able to unlock it already. All right. Submission. Can you tag me, okay? Because I don't see it at the moment. Tag me, and if I still can see it, just post it in general. It's fine. For Himiko, the minimum spec for Himiko to be useful with a red skill, I would say probably around 5 to 6 or so. Now, if there are no red skill, I actually think it needs to be maxed out. And even maxed out, you might even be better off using her as a support. Let me show you here. Actually, I can show you because it's not ranked yet. I just moved the account. Let me see. Okay, there it is. Okay, here now I'm farming, so this needs to be replaced with YSS. My YSS is maxed out. It's just when I'm farming, I'm getting some XP on my Richard at the moment. But this is my Himiko right now on this account. You can look at the artifact. It's not maxed out, but it is gold. It is a crit. I need to reword this here, but it is a decent artifact. Still a work in progress. All the equipment are being leveled up. 47 dust, it's being worked on to finalize. And you look at the specialization, it's only 5. I actually don't use Himiko yet on this account. I use Quinn. I still use Quinn, Zenobia, YSS, Alex, even with this Himiko being worked on and still in a decent spot. My Himiko is in my second March as the main damage dealer for my second March. Once she is around 7, 8 specialization, maxed out on dust, the artifact may be 4 or 5. I'm gonna bring her to my main March. It is the project on this account, on that account that I want to work on, but I'm gonna test her both damage and support build. And right now I'm assuming that the support is probably gonna be better. Without a red skill, Himiko still has the same issue as Khan, and the energy is not high enough to carry. This is one of her main issues. I will test it out. You can also test it, but honestly, if you want to do a solo carry Himiko or a Alex Himiko March, at the very least 7-8. If you want to use her as a support, maybe 6 would do. But even at 5 and almost fully dusted, I tested it already and it's not even close. I lose to people that they don't even do damage if I do Quinn. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, I still can't find it. All right, let me see. For my Alex, Himiko, YSS, Quinn, March, what spec path do I max out first? I know for Alex, it's KS, YSS is FS. Okay, so if you have a Alex, Himiko, YSS, Quinn, you're asking about the specialization for your Himiko. you have two options. You actually have three options, unless you have red skill. Now, I don't know if you have any red skill. If you have a red skill, Storm Eye spell is the best. If you don't have any red skill on your Himiko, again, I'm still testing it out. I don't know if she works best as a damage dealer without red skill or a support. I think it's going to be a support. If it is a support, all three are kind of okay. So not the end of the world. I would still probably do Storm Eyes or Abyssal. For your Alex, one second. For your smaller nod, you want to do the Grace first. The Grace to level maybe 3 or 4, and then you can do some of the crit to level 2, 3. The reality is Mage, Archer are the most expensive when it comes to the specialization, because everything is useful. This is useful. This is useful. This is useful. They are the most expensive. Even Alex is a little bit less expensive, because when you look at Alex, you have to go with the first one, by the way. But this one is not as useful. So you only have this one, and this one is also good. You have two, but this one you don't have to really do. I'm not even doing it. This one also you don't have to do. But it's the same thing with the Himiko. You don't have to do the normal attack. Now, the other one was Quinn and YSS. For YSS, you need to go with Iron Will, especially if you go with Guard. I do recommend you go with Guard if your Alex is still the main carry. If your Himiko doesn't have red skill, your YSS needs Guard to protect Alex. If your Himiko is the main carry because you have a red skill and your Alex is not doing the most damage all the time, this is also another option. But that means you're not going Guard on YSS. Guard is an extremely good skill, but you're still taking damage, so this is better alongside. For your Quinn, it actually depends. Quinn, if your Himiko is doing decent amount of damage, red skill, or even without red skill, she's doing good damage, you're going to want to go with Battle Excitation. Battle Excitation is also going to help her first ultimate to go off to bring somebody in the void. So Battle Excitation is probably your best bet. If you're making her 100% support, then Holy Prayer is still okay, and even Light of Soul is still okay. Personally, I would still probably do Battle Excitation anyway, just to get my Himiko to ult and bring somebody in the realm as soon as possible. When it comes to the small one, sorry for the tank, you really want to do this one only. You don't really need the dodge, you don't really need the accuracy. Even these one here, you don't really need the crit, you don't really need the accuracy. So tanks are actually the cheapest immortal to do when it comes to specialization, because you only need to do this one, and this one. Not even necessary, honestly. So that's only 2 out of all of these, and you only need to do the shelter. There's 2 of them, one under here, and then you're done. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. Quinn, a little bit more expensive. Support are quite expensive as well. On specialization, where's my Quinn? There he is. So Quinn, what you really want to focus on is going to be the same here, the shelter. And then you're going to need to do the resilience as well. The dodge is not all that needed. You can always do it at the end if you want to. I could do it as you see here. I'm still not doing it. I really think dodge is almost useless at the moment. It's kind of a waste of books. Even if I have it, it's also going to patch my power higher than it should be, but it doesn't really do anything. So I'm not even doing it at the moment. Yes, assembly charge for Alex is going to be very good. Let me see your team here. Which one was it? One second. So if you were talking about this one, what was it? This one? Skilling. Yes, I think it's this one. The reason why I didn't, if it's this one, by the way, the reason I didn't propose a guard or a assembly charge right away is because you have a red skill on your Himiko. You're gonna get good damage from your Alex with no with assembly charge for sure, probably top 2, but my top 1 is still probably no escape, because no escape is gonna give really good synergy and really kill the enemy first few second if they don't have Fountain of Life. And at the end of the day, your Himiko is the one doing the damage here. She's the one carrying the load. So I would go no escape first. Assembly charge next, and then maybe guard. But again, guard is not even 100% needed. It depends on your damage skill. But Alex with cleave, wind rage, and assembly charge deals an insane amount of damage. All right, so here you're gonna need, all right, so you have a lightning team, still very early, 50. Okay, so at the moment, you are probably gonna need to change a few things when it comes to switching the skills around. Number one here, if you put the assist on your Richard, the problem is you're also protecting your YSG, and this guy is not the most damage output dealer. You really want to protect your Khan, but your Khan is also missing a skill. So at the moment, until your Khan has one more skill slot, this is okay-ish. But as soon as your Khan is going to unlock this one here, you're going to want to move the assist back on this guy here. You can even move this one here as well. And you're going to want to make this guy a full support. He's going to become a sponge to tank damage for your Khan. That's all he's going to do until you can replace him with something else. But at the very least, he's going to give you value for protecting your Khan. If you wanted to protect your Louis, the skill that you need is actually guard, not assist. So be careful here. The assist is absolutely not protecting the Louis. This is fine on Louis. Now, the one thing I would say is even more until your Khan is doing the heavy lifting, I would move Berserk to Richard and give one more skill to my Louis. Because Louis is the one at the moment doing all the damage. With a little bit of Khan, but without being fully star, Louis is probably doing more damage. So at the moment, having Anger on Louis and Berserk on Richard or even Khan, it's probably going to do you better. Now, if you get a token skill at level 50, let me see. So because you're only level 50, if you get a token skill, you're going to want to focus on damage. But if you do damage for Louis, you have Wind Rage is an option. I don't think you should double down on Louis though. Blade Vortex could be an option. Blade Vortex, probably the best option. Guard if you want to double down on Louis. I would probably go Guard before Wind Rage if you want to really focus on your Louis being the carry. So that would be the best option. If you're about to tip over to Castle 55, just wait and get No Escape. No Escape, although it's not damage, it's going to give you better value overall. Until you make a decision on who you want to be your carry or if you continue on both. If you continue on both, I think your Alex with Blade Vortex and Executioner is going to be needed if you want him to carry without red skill. Oh, level 40. But if you're immortal level 50, you should be able to bring your Tower of Knowledge. But let's say that it's 40 at the moment. 40 limits you way too much. It's probably going to be Blade Vortex or Guard if you want to focus on your Louis. Now, one thing though, it really depends how soon you're going to tip over. Again, for very, very low spender guys, one of the biggest mistakes you can make is investing on skill that are okay at the moment, but not as good in, I don't know, 30 days, 60 days. The reason is, as a low spender, these token skills take 1 or 2 KVK to obtain. It's going to take you about a year to be fully maxed out on token skill. But being fully maxed out on token skill, like something along the line of this one here, where you have a lot of token skill, it's gonna take you so long, right? 1 year. If you get example Blade Vortex, or you get Purification, you get Vitality's Touch, you're slowing down the skill that you really want. The skill that you really want, given your current situation, is going to be No Escape. Is going to be... It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because here I'm not the biggest fan of Louis. I would really prefer make my Alex the carry. Yeah, if you really want to do this, I would go Blade Vortex if I'm not getting any red skill. If you are getting red skill, don't get Blade Vortex because you're going to go with Energy Mastery, Fighting Master, and Corrosive Power. Your Blade Vortex is going to be lost. It's going to go to another team. It could be on your Louis, but Louis with Blade Vortex is probably not the best option. So it depends on that. Yeah, Blade Vortex if no red skill. Only can carry, that means you would change Louis some point or make him support kind of build. Again, Blade Vortex Executioner is the only way for Kant to carry without a red skill. And even then, you're going to have to test it out. The issue with Corrosive Power is, honestly, I don't think it's going to be enough to fix Khan low energy by itself. What I mean by that is, if you get Corrosive Power, in example, you go Fighting Master and Anger or Blade Vortex, Corrosive Power and Blade Vortex synergy is not the best. Corrosive Power would need to go with something like Time to Shine on Yielding, Anger, Adrenaline Rush, Fighting Master, if we're not taking into account any red skill. And if you do a solo carry, Corrosive Power Alex, the struggle that he has is the energy. If you look at the energy, it's higher than Himiko, but it's still quite low for a caster to be solo carrying. This is why a lot of players go with Corrosive Power and Executioner, because there's no need for energy. It's all about the timing, right? It's triggered skill. It kind of skipped the energy issue of Khan, but at the same time, it's not the best carry build. Tio is going to kill it. Energy Shield is strong against that kind of damage dealer. If you go Corrosive Power, I think you need to go with Energy Mastery to fix Khan energy issue, or at the very least Corrosive Power in Time to Shine might be okay, but there's no any other thing than that. It's Corrosive Power, Time to Shine as a lower budget, or Blade Vortex Executioner. As you can see, my Khan is with my Alex and he's doing more of a support build. You can go Blade Vortex. If you're not planning to get any red skill, I think Blade Vortex is going to be a good get. And at that point, if you go Blade Vortex, what you could do is, if you do get one red skill at any point, you can go with energy mastery first or corrosive power and move your blade vortex to somebody else. Or you can even keep it until you have a better skill. Purification is not going to counter Quinn and Canning Quinn. Purification is not going to cancel the anti-healing. The only thing that cancel healing, anti-healing is here. Immune to serious wounding. It's Athena. Quinn is going to give wound, but purification removes negative state, but not wound. It does not remove anything that is not a buff or a debuff. It's not going to counter anything. It does not even counter weakening curse anymore. It's still a decent skill. The only reason it's still a decent skill is because of the 3-second trigger time. All the skills that are 3-second trigger time are still going to be relevant because it happens a lot. It's not a lot of healing, but it's going to remove something. And if it doesn't, it's going to heal a little bit. Okay, so if you don't get any red skill, I would not go for corrosive power because corrosive power is going to be quite expensive compared to other token skill. And you might as well do Blade Vortex and Executioner on your con. Any other question, guys? I'm still gonna leave it on for a few more minutes. And then if there's no other question, I will close the stream in about 10-15 minutes. Oh, by the way, I can give you a little bit of information while everybody's here on the Affinity, but not information, kind of an update, because I have been slowly increasing the Affinity. Now, I forget a lot of the time to get this on my smaller accounts, but you need to get this daily. You have to remember, this is going to reset daily. If you have a lot of a currency on Otherworld Crystal, you have to remember it's now a new daily thing to do to get at least a top 3. Here on this mini account, I am doing, is it Wukong? I don't remember. Actually, I haven't even started on this mini account, so I need to do it. I'm definitely going for Wukong. I don't have Poseidon. It doesn't really matter. But it's an Alex March account, so I need to go with Wukong. Let's do Wukong. I'm going to give it everything. I need to reach 15, so still quite far. What I can do, because I have a lot of these, what happened is this account was actually way behind on Asteria, and I did level 3, 4, 5, 6, and the reward actually stack up. But you need to be careful. It can only happen when your Asteria was lower level to begin with. If, example, you maxed it out 3 years ago, and you start this new event at level 6 already unlocked, you cannot start from level 1 and think that you can do all of the level again. It's not gonna let you. So you need to do level 6 and you're just gonna get a little bit less. It's just kind of luck. I think it's kind of a gray area. I think they should not have made it this way. Usually in the past, you could only go up to level in Asteria. So example, when the event was first released, you had access to level 1 and 2. You could only go up to level 4 in the first event. And then this next event, you could go to level 6. So it took 2 events to max it out. I'm going to do the Earth. So let me see. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's this one for this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's fine. I can just test it. I'm gonna do another one at the same time because I have a lot of crystal, otherworld thing. Yeah, it's this one. So I'm gonna do Alex at the same time. Now, the reason I'm allowed, or I can do at least 2 immortal, maybe even 3, is because of the amount. You have to remember, I did Asteria. If you look at the calendar, it was actually here. So it's been a few days already. And then I don't see it here. I'm gonna know tomorrow after reset if it show up in 2 weeks. But it could be an event that only happens once every month. If it's an event that happens once every month and you buy out the shop because you think you're gonna you have a lot of currency, you're gonna get into a situation where you're gonna have a few days without any otherworld crystal. And if that happens, you're gonna get into a situation where maybe your Alex is level 10, your Hippo is level 10, then you have maybe 1 Chaos level 10, you have a Water level 10, but it's not gonna do you anything. Because if the Immortal is not level 15, you're not getting anything. No stats at all. It's all about unlocking this here. So you don't want to do too many Immortal at the same time. I'm only gonna do Wukong and Alex. If I see that the event show up in 2 weeks, I'm going to do one more for sure. But if it does not show up yet, I'm not going to buy anything other than the Universal every day and the one for the Earth for my Alex. That's it. Is it okay to do some defensive insignia or it won't be as good as the offensive one? You really want to focus on offensive. I explained a little bit in the video. Let me explain a little bit more here. 1 second. So what happens, the way they set it up is, let me show you, Archer gives magical defense. Tank gives physical defense, and support, where is Ditto? Is it, no, where's Ditto? Well, this is a support, give magical defense as well. But the issue when you do either magical and physical defense is if you do, let's say, physical defense. You go ahead and you do physical defense, and then you fight a team, let me go back, that is Himiko, Wu, Loki. That means all of the insignia that you unlock for physical defense during that fight are not useful. They're not going to give you anything. Why? For example, if you look at Sammy and I have 300 stats of physical defense up, it's not going to do much because this is the carry and it's a magical damage dealer. If I do the opposite and I do magical defense and I fight this guy, Savage, with Apollo and Alex, then the magical defense insignia that I unlocked on the magical side is not going to give me any value. Whereas if you do attack, it doesn't matter. You're fighting a magical, you're fighting a physical, you're a physical damage dealer, you're getting the stats. What I will do and what I recommend you do is actually to do all the physical damage if you're Alex first. Then if you don't have any magic dealer, you only have physical damage dealer, you can think about the defensive one. Probably if you're fighting a lot of other Alexes, you can do the tank for physical defense. But I wouldn't do that until all the attack is actually done. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the magical one first. I'm actually going to double down and do the physical after because I haven't marched with Alex and Khan. But my main carry is Himiko. So I'm going to do all the magical one first. If at some point I plan to get Medusa, Apollo, then this is where you kind of need to be careful. You might want to do both. Example, the biggest whale out there that are doing Medusa and Loki might want to do both magical attack and physical attack. But honestly, I would still do physical because Medusa is at the moment the best immortal. Any other question, guys? I'll think about it. Now, the one thing about skills is they're really, really situational, right? I really think Energy Mastery is one of the best red skill at the moment. If you don't have a caster, it's a completely useless skill for you. I actually have a friend that I'd made that mistake in the past. I got Infinite Firepower first because Energy Mastery was not released then. But then as soon as Energy Mastery was released, I kept telling that Energy Mastery is better than Infinite Firepower for most caster. And it's extremely good. Energy Mastery is really broken when you look at it. It's the 400 here, 100. It's really, really strong. But he has an Alex March and he went with Energy Mastery. So he got into a situation where he had to do a mage. If he had Alex and Knife Through Butter and Fully Prepared was not released back then, I told him, this is not a good skill, wait. This is okay-ish on your Alex, but as a first red skill, I would just wait. And he still went for it, and now he regrets it, because this would have been way better. What level to try for Asteria? So, I actually don't have a very, very weak team that has tried it yet. But if you can wait, actually, I can tell you right away. You are at 230. So this is my mini account right here. It's at 282. And we now have Asteria. So what I would suggest you do is probably start at level 2. If you can do it, the system is going to ask you to go down. You just go down. If you're able to clear 2, be careful. If you clear 2 with a lot of difficulty, you barely do it, don't start level 3. Again, I explained that in the previous video on Asteria. But if you do level 2 full and then you start level 3, but you're only able to get to level 10, look at the difference. You're going to be losing out. Just make sure you finish the level that you want to do. I can try level 2, but look at the power recommendation. Right? It's a small account. I can try it for you. It's not a big deal. Let me recall this here. If my team is not able to do it, your team is not going to be able to do level 2. See here, you're going to need to do level 1. Because it's not even close. My team is a little bit stronger than yours. And it's not the best skills, right? But my dust on my Alex is maxed out. And the dust on my Hippo is also maxed out. So I don't think you can do level 2. You're going to need to do level 1. And even then, I don't know. But you have to be careful as well. If you can, okay, send me your... Okay, this is what I was going to say. Because I'm in legendary season, my things are all boosted. If you are very, very early on, you might be able to do it. If the cap is 245, I would definitely try it. I would try it for sure. Now, because mine is a lot stronger, right? Mine is a lot stronger. You might be able to. But what happens is if you fail, just do this here. I don't know why I'm not getting the trigger, but I should be able to change it back to level 1. I might need to reset it. But usually when you are not able to hit it, and I tested it last time on a smaller account, I got a notification asking me to lower it. I don't think they patched that. It's normal to happen. So let me see. I'm not getting, oh, there you go. So you get this notification and then you can just reduce it. Worst case scenario, I would say. It's not a big deal. I'm probably still not going to be able to do level 1. Let me see. But again, it's very different. I am in the legendary season with a lower count. Yeah, so not able to do it. But again, it's a lot stronger. Okay, can Himiko do as much damage as Loki if Himiko is maxed out? So if you're talking about comparing Loki and Himiko, if they're both maxed out, for sure Loki is going to deal more damage. If you look at Loki, let me go into the arena. We can take a look at, it's going to be a good example here. If you look at Sami Loki, first look at the energy regen. It's already 100, which is way higher than the Himiko. I know for a fact here, the dust is lower. He's working on the smaller nodes on the specialization. If you look at the power, it's 230, right? But if you look at my Himiko, it's not maxed out at all yet because of the smaller nodes, right? It's 50 here already, so almost 13 level higher. I have some here. My shield, my grace are all both level 4. I have a little bit of crit, and I'm barely 9k over in power. And when I look at the report, and because I have 3 skills, he only has 2. Where is it? Sammy here. Right, he only has 2 because he has Fighting Master. His Fu Fei is not ready yet. I actually deal about the same amount of damage, sometimes a little bit more. The reason why I win most of the time is because he has Quinn and I have a T9 in my main team. It's one of the only reasons. Loki is still always going to deal more damage. He is a Chaos Immortal. I think the question is, should you change a Himiko for a Loki? Most of the time, if your Himiko is really, really high, almost maxed out, the answer is no. I would not do that. I would not change a Himiko for a Loki. Let me go back on my main. Especially if you're an endgame player, legendary season, conquest tipping over to legendary season, and even more if you have red skill. You get into a situation where you have a very strong Himiko, and then you do Loki, which is a small upgrade. It is an upgrade, but you make your Himiko almost useless. Here, this is my setup on Himiko. If I do Loki, I'm going to have to do Energy Mastery and Infinite Firepower on my Loki. That would leave me only with Corrosive Power, but even then, if I do Fu Fei and Loki, I would do these 3 skill on my Loki. This leaves me with a very, very underwhelming Himiko without anything to do damage. She's maxed out. She's going to be in my second March, and she might even lose to Alex's March. Again, Himiko, I really like her. The only way to fix our issue when it comes to energy, it's with this skill here. It's even better if you had this one and if you add this one as well, because there are, in this kit, there is a little bit of energy regen as well. This here, it's really, really low for a mage. Yeah, so don't replace your Himiko with a Loki. You have better options. Fufei, even a Tina, I think would be a good get. Now, if you don't have Himiko, then Loki is a good get. So you want to get Knife Through Butter, but also Energy Mastery. Let me go back to your March. What's this one here? So this is the March that you have. Honestly, I think I would go with Energy Mastery. Now, because you have Corrosive Power already, you could make a case for Knife Through Butter on your Alex. It wouldn't be a bad idea. And you would kind of mix your damage. So it could be a thing to do. But then I would say be careful on what you're going to do if you do get a Chaos. Because example here, if you do a split damage on Himiko and Alex by having 1 red skill on Himiko, 1 red skill on Alex, you get into a situation where you're going to want to protect both. You're going to want assist on your Quinn. You're going to want guard on your Charles to protect your both immortal with a red skill. It becomes a little bit harder to protect both. And if you do a Chaos Immortal, you want to do Fufei, then you get a situation where you can remove Fighting Master, but you don't have another good skill to put on your Himiko. So not a good option to place Fufei. On top of that, Fufei is not going to get you a lot of value for your Alex. Then you don't do Fufei. You don't want to do Loki. You already have Himiko. You don't want to do Poseidon or Wukong. Not going to match well with your Alex. You're left with really one option that is cheap in Athena. Or you're going to have to go with Anubis. But Anubis, like Ninetale, is not cheap. And Anubis would actually be the best one to get here for you with this March setup if you do Knife Through Butter and Infinite Firepower. So to answer your question, Knife Through Butter is an option. You could go with Knife Through Butter. I would probably still go with Energy Mastery because it becomes a little bit easier to protect your Himiko. If you're scared about being a full magical damage dealer, if you're scared about the crit build being a little bit on the downside, go with Knife Through Butter, but make sure you get guard, make sure you get assist, because you're going to need to protect both. If you go Knife Through Butter, you also need, in my opinion, Assembly Charge or Berserker, but probably Assembly Charge, Knife Through Butter, and Wind Rage. All right, guys, last questions before I end the streams. If you have any, it's time to send them. It's already been 2 hours. I think KVK is going to start preparation. 1 more day. Need to send out some Gatherer. Actually, let me send. All right, thanks for being here, guys. Again, if you have any question that comes up, you can always join the Discord and ask in the Discord. I'm sorry for the last week. I've been quite busy. But what is really nice about the Discord is a lot of players are going to be able to answer as well. Some of them have been playing for a long time as well. And if you really want to make sure, tag me. Always try to go back and read the tags. When it comes to the player I review in the Discord, in the video that submitted on the Discord, I'll try to add the video, this video, to the thread so that they can watch it as well. If you have follow-up question, just ask. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. Have a good evening. Good weekend as well.